Yo, what is up guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy football video. Today we are doing a 10-team PPR draft as requested by one of my subscribers, Ed Gordo. If I pronounced her name wrong, I am very sorry. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Now he's keeping David Johnson at the ninth pick. He didn't give me the rest of the keepers, so we're just keeping David Johnson here. And David Johnson could fall to the ninth pick, so this is pretty normal here if people go wide receiver heavy in the middle and jump on a guy like Chubb or Bell early. So we're going to go with the ninth pick here, like I said, as requested by one of my subscribers. So before I start the draft, I'd like to ask you guys, could please go down below and click that subscribe button. Now, not only is it going to help me, it's going to help you because you guys are going to be getting all the fantasy football knowledge to dominate your league from all the videos I release about the draft to the regular season where I release videos about matchups, trades, waiver wire, all that. And then during the playoffs, I'm going to be releasing the same type of videos to help you win. And then you're going to win your fantasy football trophy. Now, if you don't already have a fantasy football trophy, check out my sponsor, fantasybros.com. Use code Notorious at checkout and get 5% off. So let's get right into the draft. Like I said, we already have David Johnson because this is his keeper, but like I said, it could potentially happen that DJ goes here. So, CMC came out with the board followed by Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, DeAndre Hopkins, Ezekiel Elliott, Le'Veon Bell, Devontae Adams, Julio, and then we got David Johnson, and then Michael Thomas, James Conner. Now, if you want to imagine the team more like what it probably would have been, just think about maybe we drafted Chubb or Mixon instead of David Johnson. So, at this spot, I would like to match DJ with another running back here, unless the wide receiver value is here. I like these wide receivers, but I'd much rather go running back. And you can either make your pick between Chubb and Mixon here. Personally, I think I like Mixon slightly more because, in my opinion, he's a lot safer. We know his role. We know what he's going to do. Nick Chubb is potentially slightly more dangerous because if Kareem Hunt comes back and does something, then that's going to hurt his value. But obviously, that's 10 weeks from now. That's really probably not even going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but it does kind of worry me. I'd prefer to just go Mixon here. I know his role. I know he's a pass catching back. We don't know how many receptions Chubb will get, even though reports are that he should be getting more. Who really knows? But we're going to go with the Joe Mixon here. I still think Chubb's a great pick here. I think Chubb has top 5 upside, really, but I really do see Joe Mixon as being slightly safer. So after with Joe Mixon, OBJ came off the board, followed by Nick Chubb, Dalvin Cook, Tyreek Hill, Juju Smith-Schuster, Mike Evans, Todd Gurley, Adam Thielen, AB, Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes, Keenan Allen, Kerryon Johnson, Leonard Fournette, Damian Williams, and Aaron Jones. So this first tight end off the board at the 3-2. Typically, Kelce goes in the first or second round, so that's a tremendous value here in the third round, followed by Pat Mahomes in the third round, which is pretty typical. Like I always say, in the first two rounds is a bit crazy for Mahomes, but I've seen him go there. Typically goes around the fourth or fifth round when you're at home league. Don't be surprised when he goes in the first or second round. Sorry about that I'm moving my cursor repeatedly. So, Keenan Allen, Kerryon, Leonard Fournette, Damian Williams, Aaron Jones, and now it's our pick. So right here, I'd like to get an elite, not an elite wide receiver, because the wide receivers are getting a lot more cluttered here. Ty, with the injury of Luck, could be have a huge hit. Now, I think Jacoby Brissett is pretty good and will be able to sustain a pretty solid wide receiver for you, but is he potentially a top 12 guy like I initially thought he could have been? Now it's looking like no, because if Luck's injury is really bad, like I think it is, I would just avoid Ty because you're likely not going to see the first 6 weeks of Luck potentially, or even all season. Amari Cooper's dealing with that heel injury, so I think Stephon Diggs is probably the safest guy on the board here. Stephon Diggs was amazing last year down the stretch with their new offensive coordinator. I think that's going to keep continuing to happen this year, so I would go with Stephon Diggs. So after with Stephon Diggs, Cooper came out the board followed by Chris Carson. Now, looking at the running backs here, I think I would just like to pull the trigger on one more running back because the running backs do fall off after around the fourth round to where it's a bit more confusing because I don't necessarily like every single guy. But whereas here I know I like David Montgomery. I think David Montgomery is going to be the running back one on the team. Tariq Cohen will be getting those pass catching value on the team, but it's really not going to be that immense. I think David Montgomery is really going to take hold of the Chicago Bears offense and make it his bitch. So I like David Montgomery here. Honorable mention for Josh Jacobs because Josh Jacobs could be the RB. He is the RB1 of the Oakland Raiders, and they may just run him into the dirt. He may be seeing so many opportunities to run the ball. And if AB is actually good and is able to stretch the field and doesn't cry about his helmet, we may be seeing an actually pretty good Raiders team. So I like Josh Jacobs here, but I prefer Mr. David Montgomery. So after with Montgomery, Freeman came off the board. Mr. Injury Prone, followed by Josh Jacobs, T.Y. Hilton, George Kittle, Zach Ertz, Melvin Gordon, Julian Edelman, Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks, Derrick Henry, Tyler Lockett, Mark Ingram, Marlon Mack, Chris Godwin, Kenny Galladay, James White, and now it is our pick. So now we're gonna build more of that that wide receiver depth and get a second wide out option here on our team to fill out our roster. So now, all three of the big tight ends are already gone. Kelsey, and then Kittle, and then Ertz. So right now, around the sixth or fifth to seventh round is where you're going to see a lot of these middle round tight ends go. Guys like Howard, Ingram, Cook, Henry, potentially Ebron, Njoku, and Vance. Because it depends. Some people are really high on Ebron based upon last year's stats. Now you need to understand that that's not going to happen. If Andrew Luck isn't healthy, that's even worse for him because Andrew Luck loves them tight ends. If you watch the Pro Bowl mic'd up last year, he talked about, oh man, I love my tight end. He's throwing the ball to Eric Ebron. And now if Luck isn't there and it's Mr. Jacoby Brisket, then who really knows what's going to happen? And Eric Ebron is not going to be as good this year anyways because of the return of Mr. Jack Doyle. So right here, there's wide receivers like Cooper Kupp, AJ Green, who we don't like either of those, Calvin Ridley, Boyd, and DJ Moore is who I'd be looking at around this range. You can go with Ridley, who has more unknowns to him. DJ Moore looks like he could be a potential wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 2, or just a wide receiver 2 in general if he ends up being able to stay healthy and if Cam stays healthy. Now, Cam already hurt himself in preseason. He hurt his leg. He's in that walking boot. He should be good for week 1, but that does scare me because Cam is one injury-prone player. So I'd much rather just go with Tyler Boyd here. We know his role on the Cincinnati Bengals. But actually, I won't go with Tyler Boyd because we already have Joe Mixon, so you need to pay attention to your roster. I don't want 2 Bengals when I think the Bengals are probably going to get 3 goddamn wins this year. Not really. Maybe they'll be flirting with 4 wins, 4.5 wins probably. So I'm going to go with DJ Moore here. After with DJ Moore, AJ Green came at the board, followed by Deshaun Watson, and now it is our pick. So right here, we could just build some depth at the running back position, but I think right now the value is at the quarterback position. Only 2 quarterbacks have already went. Now, if you're in a more serious league, very serious league where people play serious, they ain't about drafting Aaron Rodgers in the first round or Tom Brady in the first round because I've seen that happen. Pat Mahomes early. And you can get the value at Rodgers in the 6th round. It seems impossible not to pick because you know he's going to be a top 5 guy pretty much every single week if he stays healthy. So I like Aaron Rodgers here. After with Aaron Rodgers, Philip Lindsay came out the board, followed by Cooper Kupp, Sony Michel, Calvin Ridley, Austin Eckler, Miles Sanders, Tyler Boyd, Tevin Coleman, Jarvis Landry, Baker Mayfield, Tariq Cohen, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, O.J. Howard, Allen Robinson, Hunter Henry. Right here, the tight end position is getting a bit dry, so we could go with Ingram, but we're going to hold the door here and hope that Ingram does not get drafted here. If not, we'll just wait more on tight end. So right now at the running back position, if we were to look running back, Lamar Miller's on the board, followed by Latavius Murray, Kenyon Drake, Darius Geis. Now Darius Geis is going to shoot up the draft board because he played pretty good. Maybe it'll tell me he played impressive in first preseason action. Rushed 11 times for 44 yards and hauled in his only target. But who really wants Darius Geis when the Washington Redskins are going to be the worst team in the NFL? I mean, he could still be pretty good. I don't necessarily hate picking him, but I'd much rather go with my favorite mid-round player, and that is Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray is a slot guy week in and week out. Not a slot guy, a flex guy. Sorry, you can start him in your flex every single week. But we already have a flex guy in David Montgomery, so we don't even have to worry about that. But that's his upside, is to be a good flex guy. He's going to be getting like 10 rushes a game, maybe a catch or 2 every single game, potential vulture touchdown from Alvin Kamara. But Alvin Kamara goes down, you're seeing a potentially top 10 back in Latavius Murray with the amount that New Orleans likes to run the ball. So we're going to go with Latavius here, followed by Mike Williams was selected, then Curtis Samuel. So we did end up getting Evan Ingram to fall to us. Now I am kind of nervous about Evan Ingram because Eli is looking like trash. Daniel Jones is looking amazing, and I think the Giants are pretty dumb, and they're just going to keep going with Eli. And Shepard may play week 1, so that definitely does hurt Ingram's value. A lot of Ingram's value was in the first couple of weeks where Tate was gone and where Shepard was gone. So you can start off dominating with Evan Ingram, absolutely clapping the cheeks of your opponent. So we're just going to go with Evan Ingram here and hope that Eli Manning decides to learn how to throw the ball. Now, I know some people, if you like the Giants, you're going to be pissed off that I just disrespected your one true god, Eli Manning, but let's face the fucking facts. He's not good anymore, and you should already know that. So after with Evan Ingram, Drew Brees came out the board, followed by Robe Anderson, Andrew Luck, Will Fuller, Lamar Miller, Rashad Penny, Alshon Jeffrey, Jared Cook, Cam Newton, Christian Kirk, Kenyon Drake, Josh Gordon, Flash Gordon, Dante Pettis, Darius Geis, I don't know why I just said that, Darius Juice, Kareem Hunt, Kalen B. Lodge. So now it's time to keep hammering. Ooh, I think I have to go wide receiver here, even though I would typically go running back because DD played amazing in this preseason game. I've been telling y'all all goddamn season that you need to hop on this this DD Westbrook train. And yesterday, got the ball thrown to him 7 or 10 times. He railed down 7, and he scored a touchdown. That's goddamn crazy town, because Nick Foles loves targeting that slot, so I love me some Mr. D.D. Westbrook. So that's one with D.D. Darrell Henderson came at the board, followed by Geronimo Allison. Now it's time to build that running back depth. Now we're left with a confusing question here, one to boggle your mind. Do you go with Duke Johnson or Rolls-Royce Freeman? Now, Rolls-Royce has the opportunity to become that RB1. I don't like Lindsey because I like Freeman later. Or do I go with Duke Johnson, who's dealing with that hammy injury? Let's see if anything. He's expected to play against the Cowboys. So, actually, he's perfectly fine. He's going to play. What day is it? Saturday. What's today? Isn't today fucking Sunday? No, today's Saturday. Sorry, guys. So he'll be playing today. So we'll see how he plays. But we're going to hope he gets that third down work. We're going to hope he gets in on first and second down because Lamar Miller is an old fuck who's terrible. And we're going to hope he gets that pass catching work. So we're going to go with Mr. Duke Johnson here. I'm not going Jordan Howard because I'd rather just get Miles Sanders earlier. I kind of lost a lot of my steam on Jordan Howard because I really think Miles Sanders is the clear-cut RB1. So after with Duke, Larry Fitz came out the board, followed by Eric Ebron, Rolls-Royce Freeman, MVS, Watkins, Njoku, Howard, Big Vance McDonald, followed by the worst pick of the draft, Chicago Bears defense. Don't pick a defense this early. Okay, so after the Bears were selected, Sterling Shepard came out the board, followed by Jared Goff, Jalen Samuels, and then a QB run, Kyla, Russell Wilson, famous Jameis, and then the LA Rams defense. That's even worse than the Bears because at least the Bears are a good defense and going to be like the number one probably at the end of the year. The Rams, who gives a fuck? You just draft the defense at the end. Last 2 rounds with me, you're going to follow my instructions on how to do it. So, in a 10-team league, you don't need a backup quarterback or tight end. So, week 11 when Ingram's on bye, week 11 when Rodgers on bye, we just drop 2 of our bench spots and pick up a new quarterback and tight end. So, let's see here. Let's get some more running back depth. Sorry, guys. We currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs and 3 wideouts. So we'll get one more running back here and then go back around with a wideout option here. Actually, I'd go wideout first because I really don't want this guy to fall away from me, and that is Marvin Jones. Now, Marvin Jones has the opportunity to be better than Kenny Galladay, in my opinion. I do like Kenny Galladay, but Marvin Jones could probably put up the same point total on the team. He may even end up being the wide receiver 1 on the team, even though I think it's going to be Galladay. Stafford now coming back after that injury. Now, you may not have known he was injured, but his back was certifiably messed up the last couple of weeks of the fucking season. So now Marvin Jones is back. Golden Tate, outie there. He is out of there. And Marvin Jones should be pretty good this year. And the Detroit Lions should look to be slightly better because their pencil in the ear having coach needs to turn this around because he is looking like an absolute dumpster fire. Should have just stayed with the Patriots. So after with Marvin Jones, LaShawn McCoy came out the board, followed by Ronaldo Jones. And now we build that more running back depth. So I like Singletary for the upside that he could end up as the RB1 eventually. But I know Matt Breida is the RB1 right now because Jerick McKinnon is currently on the PUP, the pup, physically unable to perform. He needs some Viagra because he's unable to perform, and Matt Breida is very able to perform. He is a very versatile back, good in the pass game, good in the run game, and I love some Matt Breida. That man will get hurt. He'll look like he's down for the count. He looks like he's knocked out, and you know what he does? He stands right back up for you and scores you some touchdowns because he'll be dead, and then he just comes back up. It's perfectly fine. Or you'll think his leg's broken, and he'll just tie that shit up in some type of Boy Scout knot, come back out the next game, and play amazing. So I like it. Mr. Matt Breida here. So having with Breida, Emmanuel Sanders came off the board, followed by Djax, Corey Davis, James Washington, DK Metcalf, Colton Sutton, Devin Singletary, Lamar Jackson, Dante Moncrief, Jags D, Anthony Miller, Austin Hoopa, AP going psycho, Baltimore Ravens, Carlos Hyde, Darwin Thompson. So now it's time to secure my favorite late round running bike. And that is Mr. Justin Jackson. Sorry there, guys. I'm going a bit crazy. Okay, so Justin Jackson, that was fucking stupid. I'm sorry that I just had you listen to that. But Justin Jackson is going to be the RB2 on the Chargers while Mr. Melvin Gordon is gone. And Melvin Gordon looks like he wants to hold out for as long as possible. So I think I would definitely just go with Mr. Justin Jackson here and secure that guy who's going to be getting that work while Mr. Melvin Gordon's gone. So after we went with Justin Jackson, Big Ben Roethlisberger came off the board. Let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We already have 6 bench spots, so I'm not sure how there's 2 rounds left. That must be some type of a glitchy glitch. So it's okay. Because we're just going to snag our kicker and defense here. We're going to go with our kicker first because the defense should fall to us at the end that we like. So we're going to go G-Reg, third leg, Zerline, followed by Phillip Rivers, Delaney, Walker, Tyrell Williams, Alexander Madison, Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott's handcuff, Kiki Cootie, Jameson Crowder, Peyton Barber, Justin Tucker, Harrison Bucker, Chargers, Vikings, Browns, Lutz, Texans, Stephen Gostkowski. So now we get the Cowboys defense here. And the way you're going to pick a defense is you're going to go on Google, okay? Are you on Google? Now you're going to type in NFL. That stands for National Football League schedule, week 1, and you draft an offense or defense playing against a shitty offense week 1. The Cowboys, week 1, are playing against the Giants, and then week 2 you can keep them again versus Washington. And if you hate the Dolphins, week 3, play them against the Dolphins. So I'm gonna go with Dallas Cowboys here, and then the Denver Broncos were picked. I don't even know why we have another bench spot here. It's fine. I'll just go with a wide receiver because I'm not even sure how this is going to fit onto my roster. Michael Gallup, he's not even on the bench. So that's fine. So pretty much that shouldn't have happened. A bunch of kickers, a bunch of defenses. So the draft is complete. So our finishing lineup here is Aaron Rodgers, followed by at our quarterback. Our 2 running backs are DJ and Mixon. Our 2 wideouts are Diggs and Moore. Our tight end is Evan Ingram. Our flex is David Montgomery. Our kicker is G-Reg, third leg, Zerline. Our defense is the Cowboys. Our bench is comprised of Latavius Murray, D.D. Westbrook, Duke Johnson, Marvin Jones, Matt Breida, and Justin Jackson. So thank you guys all for watching. If you did end up enjoying the video, please click that subscribe button down below. It would really mean a lot to me. And I'm going to do my Mickey Mouse accent right now because, or my Mickey Mouse impression because someone requested it. Someone said that I'm a coward for not doing it, so I'm going to do it real quick. Now, sorry if this is embarrassing, but I'm going to do it, okay? Oh boy, haha, I'm Mickey fucking Mouse. Sorry guys, that was embarrassing, but I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, guys. Oh boy.